manufacturer, Taiwan's TSMC, is making an even bigger bet on U.S. chip production. The company announced another $100 billion investment in Arizona on Thursday. TSMC produces advanced chips for major U.S. tech companies, including Apple and NVIDIA. The expansion comes as Washington pushes to build more advanced chip manufacturing capacity in the U.S. TSMC says the new investment raises its total U.S. commitment to $255 billion, building on plans already underway near Phoenix. The company makes advanced chips designed by major tech firms like NVIDIA and Apple. It first broke ground on its Arizona project in 2021. The project will add 4 more chip-making plants to TSMC's Arizona campus. Once complete, the site will include 10 chip-making plants, 2 advanced chip packaging facilities, and a research and development center. The investment also follows years of U.S. efforts to boost domestic chip production and reduce dependence on overseas manufacturing. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says the investment will help bring advanced semiconductor manufacturing back to America. Meanwhile, TSMC says it will continue expanding in Taiwan and Japan as it grows its U.S. operations. Capitol Hill is sending a clear message of supporting Taiwan. The House passed a major national security and funding bill for fiscal year 2027. The bill includes $500 million in foreign military financing for Taiwan. It also supports Taiwan's participation in international organizations.
The measure stands firmly with our friends while drawing a clear line against our adversaries. It reinforces support for key allies like Israel and Taiwan and directly counters threats from communist China and other regimes that challenge our interests and principles.
The House bill also allocates at least $4 million to the Global Cooperation and Training Framework, or GCTF, which will be run by the American Institute in Taiwan. The GCTF was established in 2015 by the U.S. and Taiwan. It helps the island bypass geopolitical roadblocks from Beijing, and it allows Taiwan to share its world-class expertise in areas like public health and tech. Major global democracies, including Japan, Australia, Canada, and the UK, are already partners. And a new report by the Atlantic Council, a DC-based think tank, ranks Taiwan among the freest and most prosperous places on Earth. Out of more than 170 nations, Taiwan ranked near the top, placing 21st in freedom and 19th in prosperity. China, on the other hand, ranked near the bottom, placing 147th in freedom and 93rd in prosperity. And a sweet victory for Taiwanese agriculture. The island's famous mangoes have officially broken through strict European Union quarantine requirements, and buyers are already hooked. But Europe isn't the only place experiencing mango fever. K-pop superstar Choi Si-won of Super Junior shared his love for the fruit online, telling his millions of followers, "I discovered Taiwan mangoes and I highly recommend them." The post caught the eye of former Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen. She playfully welcomed the star, who once played a politician on TV, replying, "Welcome, Representative Choi. If they taste good, eat a lot more."
Been working in that area. They've done it in other countries as well. I would cite Canada and Australia and the United Kingdom, just as a few examples. So there's nothing, say, surprising about this, but it is part of a broader political warfare subversion campaign by the Chinese Communist Party directed against its main enemy, as they call it, the United States.
New visa limits target Chinese journalists in America. The U.S. is tightening visa rules for foreign students, exchange visitors, and journalists, with Chinese media workers facing shorter stays. The administration says the changes are meant to give officials more oversight of foreign visitors and prevent abuse of the visa system. The rules limit student and cultural exchange visas to 4 years. The Trump administration says some visitors have remained in the U.S. for decades beyond their original programs. Those who want to stay longer would need to apply for an extension or leave and re-enter the country. The changes come amid broader security concerns. In recent cases, Chinese national students were charged with smuggling biological materials into the U.S. that officials said could threaten American agriculture. The new rules also limit journalists' visas to 240 days, with Chinese nationals facing a shorter 90-day limit. The restrictions follow years of U.S. concerns over links between Chinese state-backed media operations in the country and Beijing's intelligence activities. China is criticizing the move, calling it discriminatory and saying it could disrupt the work of Chinese media in the U.S. The changes add to ongoing tensions between Washington and Beijing over media access, foreign influence, and national security. Coming up, Taiwan is boosting its drone capabilities as it prepares for a potential Chinese invasion. The island's president is urging parliament to pass a new funding bill. And China's dominance of the supply chain and the war in the Middle East, the U.S. is at risk of running out of aluminum soon, which could significantly drive up car prices. What's the solution?
There are a lot of companies, especially startups, that have very novel ideas that are very helpful to solving the problem.
More on that after the break here on China in Focus. Welcome back to China in Focus. I'm Tiffany Meyer, boosting its drone capabilities and preparing for a potential Chinese invasion. On Friday, Taiwan's President Lai Ching-te said the island must do more to strengthen its own defense and made growing calls for increased military spending. He urged lawmakers to approve new funding for drones. Taiwan's government has made drones and other unconventional weapons a top priority, but in May, the opposition-controlled parliament approved only part of the proposed defense budget increase, most of which was set aside for U.S. weapons purchases. Now, the government is asking parliament to approve a new package aimed at expanding its drone program. Lai said the wars in Ukraine and the Middle East have shown drones are, quote, the most important assets on the battlefield. During both his first and second terms, President Trump has called on U.S. allies to increase their defense spending.
说我没东西骂，惨啊！那但是他得到的结果哈，我想特别是我们讲援引2003年哈，北部的一个关键铁路桥哈，那这个桥呢叫阿克。说了3次，第一次是这个，其实是联合报呢，它有一个专访那个古立言讲说台湾有70%的民意支持维持现状，所以有高度共识。那么有这个共识呢，所以其实呢，他说他当然就站在很客气第三者角度说，其实这个是台湾跟这个大陆呢去进行对话的一个绝佳技术。什么对话呢？无前提对话。这句话很有趣啊，大家仔细玩味一下。中共一直想跟我们对话，我们也不是不想跟中国对话，问题是对话不能有前提，你一定要用这个什么，你要接受一中我才跟你对话，你要接受什么我跟你对话，那叫有前提的对话。那从过去国民党开始跟大陆的谈时候呢，基本上我们讲是没有前提的啊，所以这样才能对话。所以他现在只是在讲这件事情，那中国人不高兴，为什么？因为中共跟台湾对话现在是有前提的，先接受1国2府，接受9二共识，接受一中什么的，这样我们才能谈。所以他先设了前提，那这个东西对台湾是比较不利的啊。我们将来有机会的详细说。所以后来古立言接着讲说，台湾现在有高度共识，那么你中共现在处心积虑在台湾制造分裂，你这样呢不会得到你要得到的结果。中国当然非常生气了，所以第一次呢，他们还稍微客气一点点，不点名的骂古立言。他说有些人呢上蹿下跳啦，对美国总统涉台表态的阳奉阴违啦，然后在台湾问题上制造杂音啦，什么等等的用心险恶。那为什么不点名呢？就是我看你后面还会不会再乱讲，你乱讲的时候我就点名了。好，这是第一次。第二次呢，7月初的时候，古立言参加一个活动。他说，为了台湾安全起见，台湾要建构空中的、水面的跟水下的无人机队或者无人机队跟艇队，然后组成一个蜂巢式的这个防卫体系，这样有效吓阻。中共这样生气了，他说你古立言把自己当成台湾太上皇对台湾政局说三道四然后这个要压制反对台独力量什么等等等等。中共为什么这样想呢？中共想当台湾太上皇。简单说是这样，现在居然你跑来这样讲，所以我看不过去了。我常讲说，听中共话解读，你要反过来解读，不是讲了吗？我们的还要看人民日报，我这样看的时候呢， 大陆同学过来看就把我人魔认完，我说我们是这样看的，他真的就这样弄我一下。那也就是说，你得听懂他为什么说的话。你说他说美国插手台湾政局，各位不管蓝绿白，你们说中共有没有插手台湾政局？中共插手台湾政局厉害不厉害？所以我常讲贼喊捉贼嘛，不就是这样的吗？所以他想当太上皇，然后现在看到古立人讲话就骂他太上皇，其实他才是这样的。然后再来说什么呢？说这个帮台湾建议说要打造什么水上空中什么水底下的什么这无人舰，这是为了台独分裂势力在递刀子。你中共天天开飞机过来，所以说要准备动武要吓我，那我自我防卫都不行啊。那朋友告诉我怎么自我防卫，那在递刀子呢？你刀子捅过来了呀，他哪里递刀子呢？他现在只是讲话罢了。你刀子捅过来，我还不能自保吗？国际社会为什么不能反侵略呢？现在人人都在帮台湾讲话，你中国不是不知道啊？那为什么挑他骂呢？我先骂一个，把你骂得很难听了，你后面不敢跟进。好，那是这第二段。然后讲说什么为台独路线解套，我们过去讲过很多次了。中共现在对台湾的做法呢，跟对国际涉台事务中共以反台独为主轴。那台独真的严重了？不严重了。台湾，你说你真的放手去公投什么的，会不会台独？可能不会的，可能不会。大家觉得维持现状比较好，对不对？所以既然是这样的话，那中国为什么这么说呢？因为他如果要跟台湾对抗，或者他要解决台湾问题的话，他必须找到一个立足点。在民族问题上面没有立足点，民权问题上没有立足点，民生问题上没有立足点。所以在三民主义的立足这个三个民上面都没有立足点，那怎么办呢？他只好做个假的立足点出来。假的立足点是什么呢？虚假的民族主义。你台湾任何事情我都骂成台独，你搞选举也是台独，你发展经济也是搞台独，你搞这个建设军队什么你也是搞台独，以武谋独什么的，反正全部打成台独。打成台独之后有三大好处：第一，我对内呢可以动员老百姓；第二，对台湾呢可以分裂台湾；第三，对国际上呢我有借口去骂台湾，也骂你们。凡是你们支持台湾的，不管是军事上支持、外交上支持，或联合国讲话，或者说卖武器或什么等等，全部在支持台独，就骂完了。否则我没东西骂。所以中共拿反台独到做大战略，台湾任何事情都是台独了。那你说鼓励人兴风作浪，谁兴风作浪？我常讲说，台湾没有台独最简单，把台湾送给大陆没有台独了。那世界更和平吗？亚洲更和平吗？绝对不会。但如果世界没有共产主义呢？全世界都和平了。